The director. The best job in the world. The entrance to the Ukrainian National Home is on 2nd Avenue between 8th and 9th Streets in New York City. There's a restaurant on the ground floor. The odor of pierogi, borscht, barley soup, and onions hits me as soon as I walk in. The smell is cloying but pleasant, even welcoming, especially in the winter. The restrooms are downstairs, always reeking of disinfectant, urine, and beer. I go up a flight of stairs and walk into an enormous room the size of a small basketball court. It has colored lights, the inevitable revolving mirrored ball, and a bar along one wall, behind which are stacked sound amplifiers in their suitcases, empty cartons, boxes of plastic garbage bags. Setups are also sold here. Stacks of folding chairs and tables are piled along the walls. This is the ballroom of the Ukrainian National Home, where loud, stomping, accordion-accompanied dances are held on Friday and Saturday nights. Before the breakup of the USSR, there would be at least 2 Free the Ukraine meetings held here every week. The room is rented out as often as possible, and we have now rented it for 2 weeks to rehearse a movie. I've rehearsed 8 or 9 movies here. I don't know why I feel like this, but rehearsal halls should always be a little grungy. 2 production assistants are nervously awaiting me. They've started the coffee machine. In a plastic box, amid ice cubes, are containers of juice, freshly squeezed, milk, and yogurt. On a tray, bagels, Danish, coffee cake, slabs of wonderful rye bread from the restaurant downstairs, butter, whipped and packaged, and cream cheese, whipped and packaged, are waiting, plastic knives alongside. Another tray holds packets of sugar, equal, sweet and low, honey, tea bags, herb teas, every kind imaginable, lemon, Redoxon, in case anyone has the first signs of a cold. So far, so good. Of course, the PAs have set up the 2 rehearsal tables the wrong way. They've placed them end to end, so the 12 or so people due here in half an hour will have to sit stretched out as if in a subway car. I have them move the tables side by side, putting everybody as close together as possible. Newly sharpened pencils are lined up in front of each chair, and a fresh script. Even though the actors have had their scripts for weeks, it's amazing how often they forget them on the first day. I like to have as much of the production team as possible at the first reading. Already present are the production designer, costume designer, second assistant director, the Directors Guild of America, DGA, trainee, an apprentice, the script girl, the editor, and the cameraman, if he's not out doing tests on locations. As soon as the tables are in place, they descend on me, all of them. Floor plans are rolled out, swatches, Polaroids of a red 86 Thunderbird and a black 86 Thunderbird. Which do I want? We still don't have permission for the bar on 10th Street and Avenue A. The guy wants too much money. Is there another location that will work as well? No. What should I do? Pay him the money. Truffaut has a moment in Day for Night that touches the heart of every director. He's just finished an arduous day's shooting. He's walking off the set. The production team surrounds him, peppering him with questions for tomorrow's work. He stops, looks to the heavens, and shouts, "Questions, questions! So many questions that I don't have time to think!" Slowly, the actors come wandering in. A false joviality hides their nervousness. "Did you hear the one about, 'Sidney, I'm so glad we're working together again'? Hugs, kisses. I'm a big kisser myself, a toucher and a hugger as opposed to a groper." The producer arrives. Usually he's the groper. His object this morning is to ingratiate himself, particularly with the stars. Now, a huge burst of laughter rises from downstairs. One of the stars has arrived. The star is also ingratiating himself, showing what a regular guy he is. Sometimes there will be an entourage. First, a secretary. This is discouraging, because it means that on a 10-minute break, the secretary will bring in 8 messages so urgent that the star will be on the phone instead of resting or studying the script. Second, the star's makeup person. Most stars have a contractual right to their own makeup person. Third, a bodyguard, whether needed or not. Fourth, a friend who will leave quickly. And last, there is the teamster driver. He gets a union minimum of about $900 a week plus overtime. And there's lots of overtime, because most stars have the earliest call in the morning and are the last to leave at night. The teamster will have nothing to do from the time he drops the star off at rehearsals until he picks the star up at night to take him home. So, the first thing the teamster does is head for the coffee machine. He tries a piece of the coffee cake, then a Danish, a glass of orange juice to wash down the coffee, and then a bagel, heavily buttered to get rid of the taste of the Danish. A little egg salad, a little fruit, and finally he tiptoes back downstairs again to do whatever it is that teamsters do all day. Not all stars keep an entourage. Sean Connery will bound up the steps 2 at a time, rapidly shake hands all around, then plop himself down at the table, open his script, and start studying. Paul Newman treads slowly upstairs, the weight of the world on his shoulders, puts drops in his eyes, and makes a bad joke. Then he opens his script and starts studying. I don't know how he manages without a secretary. Paul leads one of the most generous and honorable lives of anyone I've ever known. Between his popcorn and salad dressing and his other merchandising, all for charities he's created, which serve people overlooked by other charities, not to mention his movie work, his days are packed. But he does it all and never seems pressed. The unit publicity person is there too. They're annoying publicists, but their lives are hell. The actors hate them because they're always asking for an interview on the day the actor has to shoot his most difficult scene. The studio is always letting them know what they're sending to the West Coast is crap and unusable. The star's personal publicity people, jealously guarding their turf, want all requests to go through them. And we all know that nothing the publicists do now matters, because the picture won't be out for at least 9 months, and whatever photo was in the Daily News will have been long forgotten. And besides, the title of the movie will have been changed. Often the last to arrive is the writer. He's last because he knows that at this point he's the target. At this moment, anything wrong can only be his fault since nothing else has happened yet. So he moves quietly to the coffee table, stuffs his mouth full of Danish so he won't have to answer any questions, and tries to become as small as possible. The assistant director is trying to set up the last of the medical exams for the insurance company. Leading cast members are always insured. And I'm making believe I'm listening to everybody.